It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Hello there, South Mississippi, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. We've seen some pretty dense fog this morning. I've got some time lapses that I want to show you of the experience that we've gone under over the last 3 hours. So let's get you right to those time lapses of the fog as we went through that this morning. So this is a look at tower cam in Biloxi at the Bourvage. And you can see the timestamp there at the bottom right of the screen. And yeah, it's been pretty foggy there this morning. Now, fortunately, during the 7 o'clock hour, we were able to see more of the city. And then during the 8 o'clock hour, saw a lot of improvement there in the downtown Biloxi area. We're going to switch the cam to a different one. This is by Back Bay. And notice, very foggy during the 6 o'clock hour. You can't see I-110 at all. So this has been the worst we've seen all week. There's a look at the 7 o'clock hour, very foggy. The sun coming up though. And then here we are during the 8 o'clock hour, finally some clearing, but even the clearing isn't like long lasting. It was still pretty foggy there. All right, last view, this is Gulfport. And in the downtown area, looking toward the sunrise, you can barely see the sun over the fog cloud during the 6 o'clock hour. Then the sun gets higher in the sky during the 7 o'clock hour, but still can barely see much. Let's see, during the 8 o'clock hour, no, it's still horrible. No downtown view. So now we can take a live look at some of our Biloxi Gulfport cams, and it is not a very clear morning in most areas. I do see that we are getting some clearing in Biloxi, so that's good news there. But in Gulfport, it still looks like things are foggy. I did just get an update on the fog advisory. I want to take a look at this to see if we are still in the expiration time of 9 a.m. because it is possible. They changed it, so it's now been extended. So that news is breaking at this very moment in time. The fog advisory has been extended for the entire Mississippi coast. So that's breaking news for you on this Wednesday morning. It no longer is set to expire at 10. It is set to expire at, no longer expected to expire at 9. Now expected to expire at 10. So just to give you an idea of the area that we are talking about, let's see if I've got my highlighter. There we go. And we should be able to highlight that latest fog alert. Hard for me to find these. There we go, on the fly. But okay, so this one that I've highlighted there that includes Stone and George counties, y'all are set to expire at 9 a.m. in 15 minutes. But then if we highlight the other, this is the Pearl River, Hancock, Harrison, and Jackson counties. That's the new information today. It has been extended to 10 a.m. And we'll write those words on the screen for you there. Extended to 10 a.m. So if you're just waking up and this advisory was issued yesterday afternoon and you haven't checked the information, it was originally set to expire at 9. Well, now we've just gotten that breaking news rather, at 8:44 a.m. the National Weather Service did go ahead and extend it. And that's because we're still seeing it. We just showed you the time lapses, which we were watching the moment they extended it. It is still pretty foggy. And don't just take our Biloxi Gulfport cams. We've got cams in other counties as well from MDOT. We also have a Silver Slipper camera. Let's take a look at the Silver Slipper camera and see what that's looking like this morning. Do we get a picture from it? Maybe we don't get a picture from the Silver Slipper at this moment. Maybe it's so foggy there you just can't see it. Either way though, we've got some MDOT cams. We'll take a look at those. I want to start off in Pearl River County. That's where it's been foggy every morning this week. And this morning, no different. We're looking at Interstate 59, looking to the south of 43. Look at the truck. It's going to disappear, vanish, poof, into thick air. It is a very foggy morning in parts of Picayune. We can take ourselves to Hancock County. This is I-10 near Diamond Head and the Kiln. Usually our east, oh my goodness, check this out. You can't see anything on the east facing cam. You know, usually you have the road here, cars driving there. You can barely make out one car. And then you'd have the westbound lanes over here. We certainly can't see anything there, but at times we can barely make out some vehicles in the eastbound lanes. There's another large truck. Again, can't really make out much more than that. That's the east facing view. West facing view a little bit better. You don't have that bright sunlight to make the fog even worse when you're facing away from the sun. But again, very, very dense fog in that area. So no wonder Hancock County has been extended to 10 a.m. I'm curious to go by the Bay St. Louis Bridge. So it looks like we're fine down closer to the coast. This is southbound, or almost a southeast view here, looking toward the south and east near the Bay St. Louis Bridge. And we can see some fog, but the sun is shining through, so that's good news there. If we come a bit back to the west in the county, on Highway 603, yeah. So you get away from the bay and it looks like it gets much foggier. There's 603 looking south toward Highway 90. Really foggy Hancock County. What happens if we go to the other side of the bay? Wow. So how about that? On the Bay St. Louis side, some sun, but on the Pass Christian side, look at that. It's much foggier. We have this cam at Highway 90, Bayview Street, and Pass Christian. Looks like the video not going to load for us, but either way, you can tell in that thumbnail there, it was foggy. Okay, now we might have the video. So that's Pass Christian for you. Really foggy as we check in these conditions. A very poor morning to be on the roads, and they're in the extension till 10 in the morning. But then look how quickly the things change. So we go from, what is this? Bayview Street in Pass Christian to Market Street in Pass Christian, and look how much sunshine there is there. That's a problem to me. I was explaining this earlier this morning on GMM. It's one thing to have it be consistently foggy. It's another thing to have the conditions change rapidly, because that's what gets you into the brake lights, the sudden slowing, and the crashing, because you have to get adjusted to the conditions rapidly. So there's a look at look how sunny this is. US 90 east at Market Street in Pass Christian. You don't see any fog very much in this view, but then you just go just a little bit to the west and it's much foggier down by Henderson Point, Bayview Street, as we just showed you a moment ago. So very, very rapidly changing conditions, and that can cause crashes, because as people suddenly see low visibility, they sometimes slam on their brakes. Look at this. We go from the clear to back to fog, Cleveland Avenue, Long Beach. Very foggy in this view on the MDOT cam. And then you go to 49 and 90 in Gulfport, also looking very foggy. We're at 49 and 90. We can that's supposed to be Jones Park back here. You can barely see it, right? So very interesting. I'm so glad that we've got more of these MDOT cams to take these views. That's Courthouse Road in Gulfport. And you, by the way, you know, our tax dollars pay for this MDOTtraffic.com website. So y'all can access the website for free. There's an app for free from MDOT that helps you to get a look at all the cameras, the traffic reports, etc. I've taken a lot of time to go through these cams. I can't get to them all because there are so many, but if you do have access to the app or the website, you can see those conditions yourself. I do kind of want to switch gears back to our weather graphics as we are running out of time here. So we'll switch back to the weather graphics and take a look at the dense fog advisory that has been extended to 10 a.m. We've seen widespread dense fog this morning. This has been our foggiest morning of the week so far. And road visibility may suddenly drop, which is the problem I think that most likely to crashes when you have the visibility changing and dropping off very quickly. Because everyone, if it's clear, we're all driving at a regular speed, and then it suddenly becomes foggy, and inevitably someone will slow down quickly, and those that are not paying attention miss the slowdown, and then you have a collision. So that's the problem when the conditions rapidly change. It's actually better for it to just be consistently foggy everywhere instead of having these little clear breaks here, fog there, clear break there, fog there. That's when you really get the issue. So you have to make an extra effort on a morning like this to put the phone down, pay attention to the road conditions, drive safe at safe travel speeds, and keep that extra distance between your car and the one ahead of you. I know it's the future now. It's the 2020s. We have all these automatic features in our cars. Our cars think they're so smart with those automatic headlights. But the sun, when the sun comes up, it always tricks those automatic sensors because the bright sunlight refracts through the fog cloud and it tricks the headlight sensor into turning off. And we don't want that to happen. We want your headlights to be on. We want your tail lights to be on. So you have to, on a morning like this, double check. Make sure your headlights are on. If the automatic sensor didn't trip, then you need to make the switch. Find the control in your car for the headlights. Sometimes it's a dial, sometimes it's a button or a switch, whatever it is, and make that change and manually turn on those headlights. Over the last 6 hours, there's really been no let up to most of this fog. It's been pretty relentless. The pattern has shown very little change. And this is what I was talking about during Good Morning Mississippi. While many of us will begin to clear during the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock hours, there are going to be some places in the coastal waters where maybe some beach fog continues. I don't want you to get caught off guard by that. If you're planning a beach trip or going to take a stroll on Highway 90 or something around noon or 11 o'clock this morning, there might be some places that are foggy near the islands, near the Mississippi Sound. And sometimes if that fog gets really close to the coast, it can cause fog in the afternoon on Highway 90. Hopefully most of us avoid that, but I do think that some places could have a problem with that. This rolls back in really quickly. It might happen so fast that it actually affects the evening drive. 5 p.m., 6 p.m., you're already seeing some fog there, and that could actually become more widespread, and we're going to do it all over again when we wake up tomorrow morning. It looks like another morning just like this. That's going to be one of our foggiest mornings of the week so far. So now that we're pretty much out of time, we'll quickly talk about the scattered showers Friday. There's a look at the futurecast. You'll see a few of them on and off. Not going to rain all day, not going to rain in every location, but you do want to have an umbrella handy in case some of them pass through, and there could be a rumble of thunder with them too. Our 7-day forecast keeps it mild, but there will be a weak cool front over the weekend. It barely affects our temperatures, but we do go from 79 Saturday to the middle 70s Sunday. We do go from 65 Saturday morning to the cooler upper 50s, hopefully, by Sunday morning, even though our models are not in complete agreement about that. And then if we look down the line for your Thanksgiving, we mentioned this first yesterday that the holiday outlook still looks cooler around the second half of next week. System could bring rain chances as well, though. There's our 10-day forecast, which you can see anytime by opening up the WLOX weather app. And as we look ahead to the holiday week time frame, Tuesday and Wednesday could be some busy travel days before Thanksgiving, and those are going to be some of our better rain chances. Scatter showers Tuesday, and then a cold front tries to move in Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. This helps the temperatures to drop from the middle 70s Monday, Tuesday to around 70 on next Wednesday to around only 60s on Thanksgiving Thursday. So the chances are increasing for a cool pattern during the holiday, and frankly cold conditions for Black Friday. We could wake up to cold upper 30s Friday morning of next week and only have highs in the chilly 50s. This could be, remember the cold snap we had, the little brief visit from winter last week, last Monday, Tuesday? We might get another one of those around next Thursday, next Friday. We showed you the coast, the 39 on the coast, but look at the 36, folks. That's a frost possibility for inland areas next Friday morning. So just wanted to give you that heads up right before we head out for this video, that around the second half of next week, inland and on the coast, looking at the possibility of cold, if not frosty conditions during the mornings and chilly conditions during the afternoons. Well, we're completely out of time here, but I hope that you enjoyed this edition of Waking Up Wesley. I'll see you again next time. Till then, take care and try to find your way through the fog.
Thank you for watching Waking Up with Wesley with WLOX First Alert Weather Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams.